All right, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS who as well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Ainal, and the title of this video is Trump concedes NATO at war against Russia. Right, that's the title of the video, and the word concedes there just means to let me grab it. See, it says admit that something is true or valid after first denying or resisting it, whatever the case may be. It says Trump concedes NATO at war against Russia and Ukraine. So this is just an update, because they have been playing and toying with whether Trump would leave NATO or not leave NATO, whether US will leave NATO or not leave NATO. Basically, words and statements are being thrown around, basically point to the point that they're not together. Says so. Trump says some things, and people zoned in and onto that point. Trump concedes NATO at war against Russia and Ukraine. So if NATO is at war with Russia and Ukraine, that means America will have to be at war in Ukraine, right? The whole of NATO and America will have to be joined together. But we're in that time, which is the end the world, where U.S. and the NATO EU is splitting up, right? They're no longer fighting alongside each other. The prophecy said that will happen. The prophecies also say that NATO EU will join uh, with Russia and attack US, right? So we can see the split happening, right? And then what with all this happening, what's going to happen? Uh, backdoor deals. NATO can't help themselves. They're trying to fight Russia. They never happened, and then ultimately they're going to figure out that Esau is the problem. They're going to figure out that US is the problem. This Obadiah 1:6 says, "How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee you into the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him." Right. So see these individuals, NATO and EU, who Trump now is turning, his back to them, are going up against Russia, and basically they're gonna have to make a deal, right? Because they can't defeat Russia, right? And even Trump says, they're weak, wherever the case may be, So Trump concedes NATO at war against Russia and Ukraine. U.S. president made the statement at a meeting with Irish Prime Minister Michael Martin, right? This is posted March 12th at 6:18. Says U.S. President Donald Trump concedes that the hostilities in Ukraine essentially are a war that the North Atlantic Treaty Organization is waging against Russia. So this is a statement coming from Donald Trump, clearly saying that what's happening is a war that NATO is, waging against Russia. So that's a bold, you know, heavy statement to say. It says he made the statement at a meeting with Irish Prime Minister Michael Martin. Trump first recalled that during his first term in the White House from 2017 to 2021, NATO member countries bowed to his pressure and began to ramp up military spending. He then said money came in by the billions and billions and billions of dollars, and NATO became much stronger. Now NATO has expended a lot of that money in fighting this horrible war. Too bad they had to do that, the president continued. So now he's saying NATO is fighting a horrible war against Russia. Right. So this bold, heavy statement is being put out there that NATO is fighting alone and America is not helping. Right. It says, ask whether America has a future in NATO. Trump said NATO has to treat us fairly if they pay their bills and if they do what they're supposed to do. I made a certain um, so the person asked, is there a future with NATO? And Trump said basically that they have to treat us fairly and they have to pay their bills and do what they're supposed to do. So ultimately, if they don't do that, which they haven't been doing it, according to Trump, then Trump will do what he's doing right now and not help them. He says, I made a certain statement that I'm not going to be involved with NATO unless you're going to pay your bills. He went on to say, if you're not paying your bills, I'm not going to help. So basically, he's not involved with, uh, you know, NATO, or the case may be. So right now, the statement's already out there that NATO is waging war against Ukraine, right? And Russia, I mean, waging war against Russia. So what happens when they start paying the bills in the middle of the war, right? What if they're in the middle of the war and NATO's like, you know what, we need America, let's just pay America. You know, whatever the case may be, who knows? But Trump is clearly saying that he's not helping them because they're not paying the bills. It says Moscow has repeatedly stated that the collective West unleashed an undeclared war against Russia and Ukraine. So let me read it again. Moscow has repeatedly stated that the collective West unleashed an undeclared war against Russia and Ukraine. That's the point. That's what I'm saying. You know, these things are just being thrown around, you know, like the debt problem, you know, we'll never pay it back. You know, they said that multiple times, but no one officially said it. They're talking about one thing and that somehow comes up in discussion. Oh, we can't pay it back, right? This is Habakkuk 2:5. It says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Now to keep it at home, right? And that's his law, his policy, right? According to his policy and his laws, he don't have to pay it back, you know, in his eyes. It says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Now to keep it at home, who enlargeth the desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. So this is his plan, you know, to conquer and control everyone. It says, shall not all these take a parable against him? Who? The people that he's trying to conquer, right? The different nations that's watching. Esau, you know, make a fool of himself now in these last days. It says, shall not all these take a parable against him? They taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. You know, how long? America's trying to take Greenland and Canada, right? For what? Strategic gain over there in the Arctic where the snow now is melting, right? And there's a lot of rich resources that have been frozen down there. That's why Trump is talking about we're going to drill, baby, drill, right? Because he wants to take over these people's lands to increase himself, right? And it's all about America. And that's a statement he also made. That's a heavy and bold statement that the people know about, right? So they're not going to, you know, help him. That's what they're saying now. It says, shall not all these take a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? So how long are you going to continue doing things that you've been doing, bullying the people, you know? And to him that laid himself with thick clay, right? And this thick clay is the word abatya, right? It goes into, you know, money. That's that thick clay, that heavy debt that America has. And, you know, every so often in one of the meetings, they just say, oh, yeah, we can't pay that back, you know, and they carry on saying something else. So Moscow has repeatedly stated that the collective West unleashed an undeclared war against Russia and Ukraine. Trump has reiterated multiple times in recent months that he wanted to push NATO member states to increase their defense spending to 5% of their GDP. Previously, at a summit in Wales in September 2014, the alliance set a goal for members to bring military spending to 2% of GDP, motivating it by, motivating it by an alleged Russian threat that happened after the reunification of Crimea with Russia. In July 2023, at the Alliance Summit in Vilnius, it was decided that 2% of the GDP should be a minimum level of defense spending for NATO states rather than the ultimate goal, says U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth said in February that the Trump administration does not plan to pull the country out of NATO, but will not tolerate an imbalance in relations with Europe that fosters Brussels' dependence on Washington. All right, so basically NATO EU is dependent on you know, the West America, right? And that has been said. Even those EU countries were saying that they need to increase, you know, their defense, you know, because they can't really lean on America since Trump is saying America first, right? So the point is that he made a statement that, you know, they're no longer helping NATO, and really they're divided as hell, right? And they don't want to say it. They're all torn apart, right? Fighting amongst each other, you know, because they're the end. So this is just another statement that's going out where it's kind of like, what? You know, nothing is confirmed, nothing is not confirmed. You don't know where this could go, you know? So anyway, we're at the end of Esau's kingdom, but Proverbs 21:1 says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will, right? So the Most High made this devil say what he said, as in NATO is fighting a war, waging a war against Russia, right? So that's the facts coming from your president right now, and they're not doing anything to help NATO. So we're at the end. So this is this is Daniel chapter 2. It goes into the kingdoms upon earth, right? So in time in history, different kingdoms will come upon the earth and then get taken down through what battle, right? And that's why we're at this last battle now, which will be World War III, and will be the taking down of America, right? That fourth beast you see here, it says Rome. This is Daniel 2 and 40. And your assistant president Elon Musk said that America is Rome, right? And that is, if you want to listen to him, hey, he said it. He's a rich man. He said America is Rome, but the prophets, the men of the Lord, right? Starting with Elder Apostle Hart on down, the men of GMS have been telling you this for a long time now, that America is the new Rome, the revised Rome, right? Because it's in the Bible. It's Bible prophecy that America will come back as the revised Roman Empire, right? To the Renaissance period. So Daniel 2 and 40, it says, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise, right? So this fourth kingdom is strong as iron, right? Militarily strong. It says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with the miry clay. So what? It's gonna have the strength of the military. The military is gonna be strong, but it's gonna be divided. So therefore they're weakened. They don't know, and they can't agree on how to use that military to their advantage. What troops go where, whatever the case may be. Daniel 2 and 42, it says, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. See, this is a partly strong and partly broken kingdom, and it's failing. Where a kingdom divided against itself shall not stand, right? And that's why the Most High made it so, right? Because we're in the last end days, their time is up. It says, and whereas thou soft iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. See, they're totally divided here in this great melting pot. You have all nations, pretty much in your governments and things like that, and at the same time, different things are happening around the world. So they're divided. They don't know what the hell to do, You see, but basically what's gonna happen in the end of all of this? We, the saints, are gonna take the kingdom. It says Daniel 2 and 44, and in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. Right. So all these kingdoms before this kingdom came was destroyed, right? But it says, and in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Right. So what is that? The kingdom of the saints. Let me go to Daniel 7 here. See the vision interpreted. Right. Daniel 2 and Daniel 7 is pretty much speaking the same thing. Daniel 7 and 15 says, I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me and made me know the interpretation of the things. These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever, ever and ever. Right? It says, then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, a sitting dreadful, whose teeth were of iron and his nails of brass, which devoured, break in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. And the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom, and of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. See, this is the revised Roman Empire. Right, this is America. This is the one that his look was more stout than his fellows, right? This is your fierce king and lord, Donald J. Trump, right? Who's ruling America now, telling his allies to fuck off, and telling everyone else that everything you have is actually mine. Canada's mine, Greenland is mine, the Gulf of America is mine, the ice Arctic over there melting, that's mine. That's what Trump's saying. This man said he's going to change the name of Greenland to red, white, and blue land. All right. Think about that. That's very stout. It says, I beheld the same horn made of war with the saints and prevailed against them. Who's the saints? The Israelites, right? So, Esau came against us, through slavery, put us into servitude, and even now we're oppressed, and what is it, subject, to you know, we're paying bills, subject to payments, paying bills and things like that, taxes, all these things that we gotta handle here in Babylon the Great while being oppressed, you know. It says until the ancient of days came. Who was that? Yahushua. Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua, right? Until the ancient of days, right? So Yahweh says, unto the ancient of days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. So all this would be happening, you know, Esau will be talking shit to everybody in the world, also destroying the saints, which are the Israelites, until Yahushua came and, gave us the power, which we're in that time now, because what we'll get is Esau is the end of the road and Jacob is the beginning of that followers, right? So Yahushua is going to come pursuant to Revelation 21 and 7, with chariots, and every eye shall see him, and we're going to get the glory, we're going to get new bodies and we're going to possess the kingdom, right? We're going to rule the world, right? And then the heathen and all of that. So that's why things are happening the way it's happening now, the collapse and fall of Babylon the Great. It says, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. And it was diverse because of what? They have their Senate, how they rule and how they pass laws and things like that. That's why Trump is doing executive orders, because you have something that, you make a law, it has to go through a whole group of parties that all agree on one thing and they say, okay, yeah, this is fine, right? But everything before this had an actual king, and Trump now is moving like that king. That's why you get Isaiah 19, where it says a cruel Lord, that's just gonna do what he's doing. It says, yeah, let me just go. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. And 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. Right. So once again, this is America, right? And it goes into your you know, your revolutionary wars, right, between America, that America had. It said, Daniel 7:25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time, in times, and the dividing of time. Right. So this is exactly what, Esau did. He got the fatness of the earth. He went out, he ruled the nations and also us, and he also changed times and laws, right, until a period of time. And we're in that period of time now where his time is up. Right. It says, but the judgment shall sit and they shall take away his dominion. Whose dominion? Esau's dominion, right? He's only given a certain period of time, right, to do what he's doing. It says, but the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and destroy it unto the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. Here too is the end of the matter, right? So basically, after everything is said and done, after all the kings rule and they fall, the saints are going to possess and take the kingdom and rule it forever and ever, right? Our kingdom is a kingdom that will never fall. It says, here too is the end of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my cogitation much troubled me, and my countenance changed in me, but I kept the matter in my heart. Right. So that's the point. We're at the point now, just like I got in Daniel 2, they're divided, they're mixed with iron and clay. Right. So the scriptures say a kingdom divided cannot stand. I believe that's like Matthew 12. Let me see. Matthew 12:25, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. That's the point, right? So America won't stand for much longer, right? Their time is running short, and that's why you get, what Revelations 12:12, because Esau gonna have to make a move to try to, do something. Revelation 12 and 12, it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Right. So he know exactly what's up. He sees the chariots before we see him, with his telescopes. Unless the most high Yahweh Bashmi outside allows us to see him, which is possible. Before Esau, of course, but Esau got all this knowledge, all this technology, telescopes and things like that. So, he's afraid and terrified, and he sees the Israelites waking back up. We're out there on the street corners, and he can't do a damn thing about it. So he's gonna try to do something about it, right? So he's gonna come out with great wrath to fix what he can fix. Anyway, this is Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. See, that's the point. That's why Esau's kingdom now is crumbling, because we're at the end of his kingdom, and he's the end of the world. And what's next? We're the beginning of the new world, right? We're gonna possess the kingdom and rule the nations. So hey, that was just a blowing the trumpet to what's going on over here. Trump, like I said, bold statement saying that NATO is at war against Russia and Ukraine, and even Russia themselves reposted this on their page. So everyone knows. Lord willing, we'll be up out of here soon. Passover tomorrow night. With that, I'll say shalom to the elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.